come down with the measles. Don't you worry about a thing, darling. This is not the first time in my life I've done a lot of fancy juggling. If you will just excuse me for 1 second for not playing with you, I'll make a few quick phone calls and... Say, Jonah, would you like to hear a telephone ring? Hang on 1 second, honey. I think you're gonna love this. Okay. There we go. Now listen. Ring, ring, ring. Oh, hello? Lloyd, yes. Well, I don't know. There must be something wrong with the line. Why on earth would I be saying ring, ring, ring? Lloyd, could we drop this, please? Thank you. I'm calling to invite you to watch Knights of the Turntable tonight from my office. I do hope you can make it.
TR!
Hi.
Hi.
I didn't hear you. I was trying to finish up this English report.
How's it going?
I'll never understand why Reagan and Goneril treated their father so badly.
I guess it wouldn't have been a tragedy otherwise. Let me look at you.
I look like I always look.
Yeah, well, I want to make sure you didn't suddenly go punk on me, dye your hair purple or something today of all days.
What's so special about today?
Well, we don't want a social worker to think you're not getting proper supervision at home.
The social worker's coming?
Mrs. Wolf called me at the office. She will be here in just a few minutes.
What did she say?
She wants to talk to us about the adoption.
Well, it's got to be good news, Dan, because if it was bad news, she wouldn't have called you in the morning, and she wouldn't be coming over here right now, because if it was bad news, she wouldn't want to face us, right? What do you think?
Well, I think you better calm down.
Oh, how do you look? You didn't have a bad day, did you?
So.
Well, I don't want her thinking you can't handle a full-time job and a teenager. You know, maybe you should put on some lipstick and some more blush.
Oh, I look just fine.
You look wonderful.
Oh, I'm just so excited. Whoa, yes. Well, let's forget how we look. She's going to think it's awfully strange when she walks in and finds you bouncing off the ceiling.
I would, too. I'll get it.
No, you won't. You're going to stay here and catch your breath. Probably bowl the poor woman over. Oh, no. Oh, well, hello there. Well, hello. Where did you come from? Look what I found.
Oh, puppy.
Is this the sweetest thing you've ever seen?
Oh, it's adorable. Where did it come from?
I haven't the faintest idea.
Oh, it's shaking.
Oh,
come here, you little cutie. You're going to be okay.
someone left him on the doorstep.
Oh, look, there's a note. Why don't you read it?
Dear Miss Liberty, a bluebird said you'd have room for me. My name is blank. P.S. It's your turn.
Well, I don't get it, do you?
It's a reminder from Kentucky.
Well, why didn't he come in? Why did he just leave it outside on the doorstep?
I don't know.
And, what does it's your turn mean?
You remember how he brought stray animals to the house all the time?
Bomber the kitten and Hazel the bird.
That's right. We made a deal. We would take turns looking after them.
And this one is yours.
Aren't I lucky?
What are you going to call it?
I don't know.
How about Lucky?
That's nice. How about Kentucky?
Kentucky. Hey, Kentucky. He likes it.
All right, then, Mr. Kentucky it is.
You like Kentucky, don't you?
Oh, he's darling. He's just darling.
No, I'm not talking about the puppy. I'm talking about Colonel Bluebird.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, me too. He kind of, like, makes things seem okay, you know?
I know what you mean, yeah.
Colonel Bluebird's helped you a lot, hasn't he?
Oh, he's a good friend.
Is he ever coming back?
I don't know.
Do you want him to?
That must be her.
Should I get it?
Why don't you do that? I'll find Jimmy and see if he can find some dinner for Mr. Kentucky.
Okay. I think Jimmy went upstairs.
Oh.
Last time I saw him.
Okay. Oh.
Hi, Mrs. Wolf.
Hello, TR.
Come in, please. You're here about my adoption.
Yes, I am.
Well, I know you're going to tell me everything's going to work out.
Cagney?
Yeah, it's me, Mom.
What's wrong?
Nothing.
Oh, that's what your father used to say. Whenever something was bothering him, Matt would just sit in the dark until he worked it all out.
Didn't know it was dark.
Well, in that case, would you turn on the lights and help me with these groceries? Oh, I can remember when the money that I spent at the market today would have filled 4 of these bags. If you just bring these groceries into the kitchen, I'll be along in a minute. Well, what happened to you?
Accident.
At work?
Yeah.
Well, how bad is it?
It's all right. It's just a sprain.
Is that what the doctor said?
Yeah, he just said that. I just have to wear it for the next couple of days, that's all.
Did he take x-rays? You sure there's nothing broken?
Yeah, it's all right, Mom. It's fine.
Is it?
Look, it's not the wrist, Mom. It's, I'm just not going to be able to work for the next couple of days, that's all.
Well, we can manage. You just concentrate on getting that wrist better. And besides, there's no reason that you can't apply for workman's compensation. It's a work-related accident.
No, it's not.
Well, you said it happened at work.
I did it myself. I punched a table. Yes, it sounds stupid, I know, but I had to hit something.
Why? Why would you deliberately hurt yourself?
I was mad.
That is no excuse.
I was mad and I had to hit something. Is that all right?
No! No, it is not all right.
I'll take these groceries.
Leave it.
I'm not crippled.
This can wait. We have something much more important to discuss.
I don't want to talk about my wrist.
I do.
Look, I did this and I'll take responsibility for it. I'm just not going to be able to work for the next couple of days, that's all.
That is not the point, and you know it. Now, how could you do such a thing to yourself?
I'm making too much out of this.
Am I? What big problem in your life did you think you were solving by smashing your hand?
I didn't do it to solve any problem.
Then why did you?
I did it just to let it out. When I'm angry, I hit things, all right? Yes, it was ridiculous, but don't people do ridiculous things every now and then?
Yes, they certainly do.
So let's just forget it, okay?
I don't know what happened to make you feel that you had to let it out. But don't you realize that kind of lashing out never works? Now look what it got you. You hurt yourself and you hurt others around you.
Susie was with Brett.
What do you mean?
Susie was with Brett. She was in Brett's bedroom. She was with Brett.
Well, how do you know that?
Brett came out and he said it to my face. Right in front of Susie.
What did she say?
She admitted it.
Well, that doesn't necessarily prove anything.
Mom, she was in Brett's bedroom. She doesn't have to spell it out to me. And we had an agreement that we would not sleep together before we got married. Then we break up, and what does she do? She hops in bed with the first guy that comes along.
You don't know that.
Mom, it's just cut and dried, okay?
The way it was when Susie found you and Justine in the cabin?
That was different.
Was it? Now you tell me how it was different.
I didn't know what I was doing. I was drunk. I didn't know what was going on. I was out of control.
I don't buy that excuse for a minute. You were in control before you got drunk.
I didn't take myself up there. Justine took me up there.
Never mind how it happened or why it happened. How did it look to Susie? Now, you couldn't understand why she didn't believe you. Well, boyo, the shoe is on the other foot now. Now, I stand behind my children through thick and thin. I always have and I always will, but I will not sit back and watch them hurt themselves and not speak my mind. Now, hitting that table was a self-destructive thing to do. It solved nothing. It resulted in pain. And I'm not just going to let that go by as if it were a scraped knee.
I'm not going to fight with you.
I don't want to fight with my children either. But I will do anything to see them happy, and if that means an argument, so be it.
Getting tough in your old age, Mom. I'm going to have to buy you some boxing gloves.
Don't joke this away. We covered this exact same territory 2 weeks ago when you saw Susie having dinner with Brett Hamilton. And we talked about trust then. Now, I thought that you and Susie were going to sit down and talk it out. Realize that it works both ways. Because believe me, if it doesn't, you two are finished.
So the question becomes, do I schedule the half-hour cooking show for the 5:30 slot, or do I extend the news? There are pros and cons on both sides. Would you like to hear them? Good. Well, on the one hand, the chef who does the cooking show is bound to attract a very strong audience. I mean, just a minute, Johnny. Here, now look. Look at this, sweetheart. Wouldn't you want this man to teach you how to make an apple tart? Well, I understand you're not real interested in apple tarts at the moment, but trust me, you will be. Someday you're going to be out of that stroller and trying to help your mommy in the kitchen. I remember Wendy at your age. I mean, Wendy and I frankly didn't spend that much time in the kitchen, but I do remember vividly what that child did with makeup jars on my dressing room table. That's right,
Stephanie?
sweetheart. You just eat that.
Stephanie.
What?
Did you take the soundtrack for Nights?
What?
It's missing. We have looked everywhere. I thought maybe you'd taken it by mistake.
No, of course I didn't take it, sweetheart. Give that to me.
It disappeared right after rehearsals.
for
We've looked
heaven's
everywhere.
Sakes, I think if I didn't stay on top of everything, this place would fall apart.
Stephanie.
Stay here with Jonah. I'll be right back.
I don't know what to do with a baby. Stephanie, I have got a million things to do.
Hi, Jonah. Remember me? I'm your daddy.
Well, let's say this whole thing works out. How long would it be before I become a Centel?
Well, every case is different.
I know, but would it take a week?
Longer, I'm afraid.
A month?
Perhaps. We'll say by Christmas, to be on the safe side.
Christmas. Oh, I can't believe this. Christmas with my own family. My mother, my brother, and me.
Mrs. Wolf? Nice to see you again.
Hello, Mrs. Centel.
It's most considerate of you to come here after hours.
I couldn't have stood the suspense if you hadn't.
It's also nice to be the bearer of good news.
I told you. I knew she wouldn't be coming here if she'd had anything bad to say.
TR's excitement is certainly infectious.
Oh, yes, but there's something about a 15-year-old that bubbles life along.
I can be a real stinker at times, too.
You certainly can. But that's part of the whole package, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Well, I must tell you, however, there are several steps that still have to be taken for adoption to be granted.
But it will be granted, won't it?
I'm quite optimistic.
What are those remaining steps?
The usual procedure is for the prospective parent to petition the court.
I've done that.
Yes, and the papers are in order. I've had a preliminary meeting with the judge to apprise him of all the facts in the case.
And what did he say?
Well, he can't say anything until he looks through all the documents.
But you did tell him how much I want to become a Centel.
He'll understand when he reads the petition.
Well, maybe I should talk to him. You know, like see him in person and tell him that I'll die if he doesn't let you adopt me.
I don't think you'll put it exactly like that, but could TR speak with the judge?
Oh, TR will have her chance to express her wishes. The judge has scheduled a hearing for the week after next. Now, this is the official time and place of the state court where the hearing will take place.
In 2 weeks. Oh, I'm going to be a real Centel in 2 weeks.
I said by Christmas. However, I'll do my best to make sure there are no unnecessary delays.
Thank you, Mrs. Wolf. Thank you so much. My mother. My real mother. And my real home. Finally gonna have a place where I can always belong.
Well, I better be going. I have a couple of other home visits to make.
We certainly appreciate the fact that you put us at the top of the list.
Oh, I wish all my cases were as pleasant. And now I must say goodbye, Mrs. Centel. I'll see you in court.
Thank you, Mrs. Wolf.
Goodbye, TR.
Now, if the judge needs to talk to me about anything, just tell him to call me up and I'll fill him in on all the details.
I will. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Oh, excuse me. Hello, TR.
Hello, Mr. Kendall. Won't you please come in?
You don't recognize me, do you? Can you say Daddy? Huh? No, not yet. But you will someday. Someday you're gonna call me Daddy. 'Cause you're my son. We have the same blood, you and me. You're part of me. You always will be. You know, I thought about you every day. You're the only thing that kept me going. I had to be away from you for a little while, not because I wanted to. But all that's going to change now. Because I'm never going to leave you again. Nobody's going to keep us apart anymore.
You mean she left him all alone?
Liza, Mr. Kendall's here.
Hi, Lloyd.
Liza, you ladies look very nice tonight.
Thank you.
I feel terrific.
Do you? Well, I'm glad to hear that.
Everything's going just fine.
Good.
Would you like to sit down?
Oh, well, I won't be here very long.
Oh, stay as long as you like.
Well, actually, I was on my way to the studio, and I thought I'd drop by and invite you to watch Henderson Nights with me in Stephanie's office.
That's really very thoughtful. Thank you, but probably not a good idea.
Why? I think it's a great idea.
Oh, I agree. I see no reason why you shouldn't want to be there.
Actually, Stephanie and I need plenty of room in order for the sparks not to fly.
Well, part of the success of the show is your responsibility. I mean, without your encouragement, economic and otherwise, I don't think Chase would have ever gotten his act together.
He just needed a little push.
Well, you're the one that gave him the push. So why don't you enjoy the benefits? Share the cream. Drink the milk.
You talked me into it.
Great, then I'll come too. I can I?
What about that English paper?
Oh, it's almost finished. Besides, I have one more paragraph, but I can finish that tomorrow in study hall. Oh, come on, all my friends are gonna be there. And maybe even Bobby.
Oh, well, maybe even Bobby. How can I say no?
Thank you. I'm gonna go change my pants.
No, no, you look fine.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
All right, then I'm just gonna go get my jacket.
Came as a big surprise to me.
The last time that I saw that child, she would have cheered if the earth had opened up and swallowed me on the spot.
Teenage chemistry. It's the only thing I can think of.
Centel chemistry, I think.
Me?
I think you're largely responsible for it. You have a very special way of handling her. People. How did she handle the Cord Turner thing?
She was hurt. I tried to explain to her that people just aren't always what they seem, and we shouldn't judge them.
Well, whatever. I certainly am pleased the door wasn't slammed in my face. Come on, let's go. Yeah.
Let's go.
All right.
I can't believe you left him all alone.
I did no such thing.
My poor baby. Did you wonder where everybody'd gone?
Now, who could tell a perfectly competent young woman would fall apart with a baby?
Oh, I'm sorry. I never should have left him.
Don't be ridiculous. He's fine. We had a marvelous conversation.
I know. I understand how hectic things get around here before a show. Oh, Stephanie, thank you for the time that you took with him.
Don't. It was my pleasure. He is a darling, and he was helping me solve a problem. Weren't you, sweetheart? Weren't you helping your... What does he call me?
Oh, I don't know. I never thought about it.
I mean, step-grandmother is a bit of a mouthful, wouldn't you say?
Well, how about Grandma?
Grandma?
Well, maybe he could call you Stephanie.
Oh, well, it's not every day I have a step-grandchild. You know what? You can call me Nonna. That's right. Nonna is Italian for grandmother, and if Diane Vreeland can put up with it, so can I.
All right, come on, Jojo. Let's go home and play with our animals. Huh? How about that? And we'll let Nonna Stephanie bring your stroller and get back to her work.
I like that ring. It's very chic and continental.
Well, yeah.
All right, darling, now give Nonna Stephanie this.
Don't worry, Jonah. Won't be long before we're together.